The Thanksgiving holiday is upon us. It's always a great time for all of us to think of the things that we are thankful for in life. And some of us, we're thankful for the teams that we root for the happiness that they can bring into our lives. At times, sometimes some other teams don't do that. But what should the teams that New York sports fans root for be thankful for this season? That is a question. It's a good question. And one man has the answers. He is a legendary sports columnist for the New York Post. His name is Steve Serby, and he joins me now. Steve, what's going on?
Dex, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm hoping you have a really good one and have lots to be thankful for. And Steve, I have a lot of questions for you here about these New York teams. So let's start with the New York football teams.
I have a lot of questions also, Dex.
Well, it would not be an interview with you if you didn't also have questions, because that's just how you do. I'm thankful for that, though. See, I like that. See? It's good. Got to be thankful.
Well, you've got a very low bar, obviously.
All right. With the New York football teams, we're going to begin with the Giants, who actually play on Thanksgiving down in Dallas. They have a 2-9 record. So with all that's going on with the G-men this season, what should the Giants be thankful for in 2024?
They should be thankful for the fact that another bleak season is soon to be ending. I think they should be thankful for Sexy Dexy, who is the best player on the team and the team leader. And I know you've been rehearsing his Sexy Dexy dance in private. I'd like to see you break it out on the airwaves, if you don't mind. They also, Malik Neighbors, they should be thankful for the first legitimate number one receiver they've had since Odell Beckham Jr. Now, all they need is a legit franchise quarterback to get the ball to him, and Brian Dable to call plays in the first half for him. You got to target that guy, and you got to target him early and often. And another, I guess, Tyrone Tracy Jr., the rookie who has, other than his fumbling woes lately, looks like he could be a key part of this team going forward, no matter who the coach is or no matter who the GM is. And I'd say those three, that's about it, Dex. There's not really much else to be thankful for the Giants.
Hey, 3 is more than some people would say. Some people might say 0. Some people may not be able to find anything as a Giants fan to be thankful for. But you came up with 3 things. I think they're all legit. I will not be doing the dance that Dexter Lawrence does. That is for one Dexter, not for me. So that's it. You can do that dance if you want to, but that won't be.
And also, let me just add the director of media services, the legendary Ronnie Barnes. So revered by players from every generation he's touched.
Yep.
Class act. Add Ronnie Barnes to that list.
I like that. Giants fans and the Giants should be thankful for Ronnie Barnes. I like that. Now, the Jets. Got to talk about them, too, as well. They had
Do we have to?
We have to. Come on. This is an equal opportunity show, so we can't talk about one New York football team and not talk about the other. We have to give everybody the love, and especially in this Thanksgiving season. The Jets, they had such high hopes heading into this 2024 season with Aaron Rodgers back under center. But this year's felt, and you've heard this from Jets fans, same old Jets, right? 3-8 record heading into this week. Doesn't look like it's going to be a December to remember for Gang Green. So what are the Jets grateful for this Thanksgiving?
Again, similar to the Giants, that the season is about to end. 14th straight year out of the playoffs. Hard to believe. But only the Jets could accomplish something like that. I'd say, look, one of my favorite players is Solomon Thomas, who has talked about mental health, is an advocate, lost his sister tragically years ago. One of the great human beings, Solomon Thomas, one of my favorite players. Another guy is who has unfortunately been hurt, and his Jets career may be winding down. C.J. Mosley, another class act who has been the quarterback of what had been an elite defensive unit until this season. And let's give thanks to Garrett Wilson for his OBJ-like catch. The one-handed grab, which will go down in Jets history. And I'm not going to be a wise ass here, Dex, because, you know, I'm a wise ass enough. I'm not going to say Woody Johnson going over to the UK to be the ambassador. I'm staying away. I'm not going to include that in what the Jets should be thankful for. I won't do it. I'm gonna stop myself. I'm gonna restrain myself.
I like the self-restraint. We are thankful for that. I'm going to leave that alone and move right over to basketball, where the Knicks, they are off to a 10-7 start this season. They made some major changes this offseason. So what is atop the Knickerbockers' thankful list?
Oh, well, you start with Jalen Brunson. I mean, I interviewed him when he was at Villanova. We did a little one-on-one Q&A in a little cubicle of an office before he became the Jalen Brunson New York fans love. But if the Knicks are going to win a championship or contend for a championship, he's the guy that's going to lead them to the promised land. The guy embraces New York, loves the big stage, loves the big moment. He's everything that Knicks fans have dreamed of since Clyde Frazier left the building. So he's number one by far. And I think you could include Karl Anthony Towns, who is going to give the Knicks prolific scoring at times, inside presence at times. I think they traded Julius Randle at the right time. And with Mitchell Robinson's woes, Cat is a guy that they needed. They badly needed a guy like that who can work with Jalen Brunson. And let's add Mr. Anunoby, who joined the scene a year ago. I think Knicks fans are very thankful that he's a Knick, and he's an important piece in their championship quest. And look, even though he doesn't talk to the media, he's Mr. Invisible. Leon Rose, you got to give Leon Rose all the credit in the world for building this team step by step to where now the Knicks are in the legitimate conversation to win a championship.
Yeah, and Knicks fans have a lot to be thankful for, considering they are looked at by many as championship contenders. So Knicks fans got to be happy this Thanksgiving season. Now the Nets, they've had a shocking start to the 2024-2025 season. They've won more games than many had thought that they would at this point under first-year head coach Jordi Fernandez. What should the Nets be thankful for this season? Is it Jordi Fernandez?
Well, they can be thankful for Julius Erving winning the ABA championship in the 70s. I covered Julius back then. One of the most humble superstars you'll ever find. We used to play ping pong all the time. He probably will deny even knowing me, but that's okay. Cam Thomas, an offensive assassin, right? I mean, here's a guy averaging 25 points a game. So, yes, they should be thankful for him. I'm going to add Zaire Williams only because my nephew, Jake Weingarten, is good friends with him and took him to get a haircut before he was drafted in the first round a couple of years ago. So let me add Zaire Williams to that list. And how about just being thankful for being in Brooklyn? I grew up, my first few years of my life, I grew up in Brooklyn, Coney Island, all that stuff. Wouldn't go on the Cyclone, no. Never. Ever been on the Cyclone, Dex?
As a fellow Brooklynite, I have been on the Cyclone. Why have you not been on the Cyclone?
I was terrified. I wouldn't go on.
This is shocking. I thought you were somebody that would take leaps and take some challenges on and, want to enjoy the great music ride that is the Cyclone.
Well, I am now, but when I was a kid, I was chicken. Okay. I was chicken.
You said it.
Yeah, I went on the other ones. I went on the Tornado and the Thunderbolt, but never that one. Never the Cyclone. Sorry.
Okay. I do agree that the Nets should be thankful to be in Brooklyn. It's the best place in the world. So there you go. I agree with you on that. Now, another team that plays in Brooklyn, that is in women's hoops, that is the Liberty. They are the champions of the WNBA. You can't get much higher than that in the sport. So is there more that New York's professional women's squad can be thankful for this year?
Oh, there's plenty. But, I mean, Stewie, has anybody won more championships than Stewie, Breanna Stewart? 4-time NCAA champ, right? 3-time gold medalist, 3-time WNBA champion. There's nothing left to say, boy. And swimsuit model as well. So, and then there's Sabrina, and then there's Jonquel Jones, and then there's Coach Sandy Brondello, and then there's Joe and Clara Wu Tsai. you gotta hand it to the champs. They brought it home. They brought it home, and a lot to be thankful for the liberty and for the rise of the WNBA. With of course, with Caitlin Clark, the WNBA should be thankful for Caitlin Clark.
I agree. I will also add, I think the Liberty, and the fans would agree with me, the Liberty should also be thankful for what I believe is the best mascot in sports. That is Ellie the Elephant. She's quite amazing. So they should be thankful for her, too. A couple more. On the collegiate side for hoops, St. John's are off to a 5-2 start. They were nationally ranked earlier this season. What should Rick Pitino and company be giving thanks about? And, Steve, I have a feeling you might mention Rick Pitino's white suit. Possible or no?
Very possible, yes. Rick Pitino's white suit, which we'd love to see as often as possible. He breaks it out on special occasions, of course. But also, how about a shout out to Louis Carnesecca, the great Louis Carnesecca, one of the nicest, classiest people I've ever dealt with in all my years. Louis is closing in on, I think, 180 years old, I think, at this point. But God bless him. He's an institution. And let's give a shout out. I hate to do this, Dex, but Eye of the Storm. Eye of the Storm. Let's be thankful for Eye of the Storm with my colleague, Zach Braziller, who will not wear a white suit, as we know. But that's a New Year's resolution that I'm making to make him wear a white suit.
Look, man, I've tried talking to him about it. It's not happening. We are hoping to get him on Eye of the Storm wearing the white suit. But I think it's more likely you wear the white suit that matches the white hair. That's what we should be going for.
Yeah, well, you'll see me in a white suit before you'll see him, that's for sure. But
probably.
Rick Pitino, look, Rick Pitino did wonders a year ago, almost made the NCAA tournament. He'll go to the Sweet 16 this year. You watch.
That's it. So Rick Pitino, Johnny's fans got to be thankful for him. We'll get to the white suit stuff another time. Hopefully that happens.
And I could mention Kadari Richmond. I could mention him as well. Who came over from Seton Hall and is going to make a big difference in that backcourt for St. John's. And R.J. Luis, is that how you pronounce it?
That's correct.
Another guy who's stepping up and will be fun to watch during this season. And, it's just it's going to be a fun time. Eye of the Storm will be a popular segment on SNY.
I hope so. We hope so. All right, last thing for me. We're going to talk about New York's hockey teams. The Rangers and Islanders, they both made the playoffs last season. Both right now are in the middle of the Metropolitan Division this season. So what should Rangers and Islanders, their fans, the team, what should they each be thankful for this season?
Well, you got to start with the bread man, Mr. Panarin. He's got 26 points or something like that. I have to check my stats. This new one, the second-year kid, Will Cooley, big 6'4" kid who's emerging as a star. And, of course, Ranger fans love Matt Rempe. He's now back with the team, and he's usually good for a pint of blood on somebody, either his blood or somebody else's blood when he fights. And Chris Kreider, I hope they don't trade him. Kreider is, 33 now? To me, he's the heart and soul of that team, and he's always Mr. Reliable. Nobody messes with Kreider, and he's not as fast as he used to be, but he's a good guy to have on your team. He's one of those guys that can help you win a championship. And I don't want to forget the institution that is Sam Rosen. 40th year, going to retire, his last year. You know, we've said goodbye to John Sterling, and eventually we're going to have to say goodbye to Sam Rosen, but he is something all Ranger fans and all the Ranger organization should be thankful for.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Let's not also forget about, what about the Islanders? What do you have for the Islanders? What should they be thankful for?
Well, they should be thankful for their goalie, Sorokin, who's become an elite goalie, Kyle Palmieri, who's from Smithtown, Long Island. Maybe throw in Brock Nelson. Maybe throw in Anders Lee, the captain. And I think most of all, UBS Arena. Third year there, I think all Islanders and all Islander fans should be thankful that they have a brand new arena, that they watch this team try to escape mediocrity. And, I covered the Islanders before they won those 4 cups, by the way, back in the barn. But, of course, my luck, they started to get good after I stopped covering them. But anyway, Islander fans should be thankful I'm no longer covering them, and Ethan Sears from the New York Post is. So happy Thanksgiving to all the New York sports teams, and, of course, to Dexter Henry and all his colleagues at SNY.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. I think it's good. A lot of teams, whether your team is doing really good, not so good, you can see that everybody can find something to be thankful for. We can find gratitude this holiday season. That is Steve Serby, the great sports columnist for the New York Post. I know he's thankful for a lot. So, Steve, just want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and we will talk soon. Don't eat too much, okay, Steve? I know you usually will, but try not to.
Well, it'll be a futile effort. I will be eating a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Enjoy. Be merry, enjoy, be thankful for the good food. There we go. Thanks, Steve.
You finally have a day off. You finally have a day off.
I do have a day off. I do have a day off, and I will be eating a lot of food. I'll say that. I'll be eating a lot of food, enjoying it.
Well, I hope you do, and you deserve the best because you are the best.
Thank you, sir. Same to you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dex.